I got home late after an installation job. I stepped into the mudroom and peeled off my boots, leaving a little trail of dirt behind. The second I walked in, I smelled roasted chicken and lemon like somebody had been cooking with purpose. The dining table was already set. Not just plates on the table set either. It was the whole deal. Soft lights. Jazz playing from her little speaker. The kind of scene you see in a movie when somebody is trying to make a point without saying it out loud. My wife, Ashley, stood at the stove holding a spatula like she was hosting a show. "Look who finally decided to eat," she said. I held up my hands. "I will wash them." She pointed the spatula at me. "Good. Now you are trying to impress a health inspector." I hung up my jacket and took a second to look around. Everything was lined up like it had been measured. Salad sitting in glass bowls. Bread in a basket, tucked under a towel. It was almost too neat, like a photo. I nodded at the setup. "This is perfect." She gave me a quick kiss on the cheek. It felt practiced, like a little box checked off. "It is called care," she said. "Sit down." I kept it warm. I lowered myself into the chair and shook my head a little. "Looks like you won the jackpot in a Pinterest contest." She laughed like I was the funniest man alive. Or like she needed me to believe I was. "Or maybe I love you," she said. "And I know you forget to eat." I watched her move around the kitchen. Ashley was always like this, smooth and efficient. Quiet, cheerful, like she could get 10 things done without breaking a sweat. But lately that cheer felt different. Like it had a shiny coating over it. The way a donut looks good until you bite it and realize something is off. She set my plate down in front of me. "You are spoiling me," I said. "I should," she answered, like it was the obvious thing to do. She poured sparkling water into my glass. No wine. She had told me she was doing a clean week. We started eating, and I decided to try again. I had been thinking about it for a while. "I was thinking I could start going to the gym with you," I said. 3 nights a week. Nothing crazy. Just ease in so I do not embarrass myself. Her fork froze in the air for a half second. Then it tapped the plate once. "Babe," she said, "I do not want to be washed while I sweat. That is my quiet place." I tried to keep my tone light. "I will stay on the far end. I will wear headphones. You will not even know I am there." She smiled in that soft, apologetic way. "I am self-conscious about my form. It feels weird with you there. Please." I half grinned. "Shy with me? I have seen you try to fix the garbage disposal using salad tongs. Pride has been dead for years." She flicked her napkin at me. "I am serious." Then she snapped right back into that bright tone. "I will help you build a routine at home. Push-ups, resistance bands, all of that." I chewed and shrugged. "That sounds like solitary confinement." "I am telling you," she said, still sounding cheerful. "The gym is not a couple thing for me." The way she said it was friendly, but it landed like a final decision. Like the conversation was closed. And if I had known where that was headed, I would have kept my mouth shut. Or maybe I would have pushed harder. The next morning, she was already dressed for the gym. Leggings, ponytail pulled high, lacing up her shoes like she had somewhere important to be. I poured coffee while she moved around the kitchen. She leaned over and kissed my forehead. "I will be back at 10 o'clock, she said. "You good?" "I am always good," I told her. "I just do not like being shut out of the cardio religion." "It is not exclusion," she said, laughing like it was adorable. "It is boundaries." Then she pointed at me. "Bye, coach." The door shut behind her, and the house got quiet fast. I stood there holding a mug of coffee I suddenly did not even want, and I had a thought I did not like sitting in my chest. A woman who really loves you does not treat her workouts like some secret club, unless the club has a bouncer. I set the mug down and made my first adjustment. I stopped trying to overlap schedules with her. I called my crew and told them I would take early installation shifts. I cut my evenings at home down to 2 set nights a week. I was not going to sit around waiting for whatever leftover time was available. I told my foreman, Brandon, "Put me wherever you need me." Brandon looked at me a little too closely. "You and Ashley okay?" "We are fine," I said. "I am done chasing fog." That night Ashley came back home glowing, chatty, full of energy. I did not ask about her routine. I did not ask what she did at the gym. I went into the garage, checked the freezer, took inventory like I was running a store, then went inside and finally paid 2 bills that had been sitting on the hall table. She walked in while I was clicking on the laptop. "You are on the computer again?" she asked. "It is dinner, not tax season." I kept my voice even. "Bills. I am separating the automatic payments. I will cover the mortgage, the utilities, my truck, and our insurance. Your personal stuff is going on your card." She blinked like she was trying to figure out if she heard me right. Since when? She asked. Since now. I said, calm as can be. It makes the budget cleaner. Less gray area. Her face tightened. That sounds cold. It sounds adult, I said. She stood there a second too long. Then her expression softened like she decided to change tactics. You are right, she said. I have been scattered lately. Thank you for keeping us on track. She wrapped her arms around my neck. I appreciate you, she said. The words sounded correct. The timing looked correct. But something about it stuck in my head like a line from a script that had been read too many times. That Saturday, we went to my buddy Tyler's backyard for his kid's birthday party. It was one of those plain, normal setups. Paper plates, juice boxes, folding chairs. Pure America. Ashley pulled up with her gym bag sitting in the trunk, like she had somewhere to be the minute cake was finished. Tyler slapped my shoulder. You two are disgustingly functional. We try, I said. Ashley heard us and jumped in. I keep him from living on takeout and socket wrenches. I gave a half smile. Hey, socket wrenches keep roofs on. She smirked. They do not keep shirts buttoned. Tyler laughed. Fair. Then he looked at me. So, you going to the gym with her yet? I kept my tone steady. She prefers to go alone. Tyler raised an eyebrow and just said, oh. And the way he said that one word told me he heard more in it than I wanted him to. At Tyler's place, my wife Ashley stood there sipping sparkling water like it was a prop. She leaned in toward the other folks and said, he makes me self-conscious. He stares. I looked right at her. I do not stare. She kept her tone light, like she was kidding, but the jab was still a jab. You count reps out loud like some old coach. A couple of moms nearby laughed, and it was the kind of laugh people give when they do not want to pick sides. I did not change my expression. Ashley, I have never been to your gym with you, I said, flat and steady. Oh, you know what I mean, she said, waving it away. Just a figure of speech. Then she patted my chest like I was a dog that had behaved. He is harmless. Tyler watched us, eyes moving back and forth. He tried to lighten it up. He is not bright enough to hide it. I set my plastic cup down carefully. Well, cheers to harmless, I said, not smiling. Then I turned to the little group around us. Quick note, I said, calm and clear. My time is not a punchline. I do not come to people's homes to get labeled like a puppy. No yelling. No heat. Just the truth. Then I looked back at Ashley. And between us, I said, if you have something to say to me, say it to me. Do not toss it out to everybody else like it is entertainment. She blinked, then put on a bright smile, like I had just performed a trick. Oh, big man's speech, she said. Boundary, I answered. Call it whatever you want. Put a bell on it. She kept smiling, but there was a little flicker behind her eyes, like she was running numbers in her head. About 10 minutes later, we were walking out to the car. She touched my arm. I did not mean anything by it, she said. I know what you meant, I told her, and I drew the line. She slid into the passenger seat and shut the door harder than she needed to. You made it a whole thing in front of people, she said. No, I said, starting the car. You made it a whole thing. I just finished it. She stared out the window. Then she softened again, smooth as ever. You are right, she said. I was careless. I will watch it. The way she said it sounded like she was handing me a prize. Then she switched gears. You want brunch tomorrow? My treat. Sure, I said. Sunday morning, she went full charm offensive. She made pancakes. She brought coffee to bed. She wore my shirt around the kitchen like a sitcom wife from a channel nobody watches. I took it in with a smirk and a raised eyebrow. Nice move, I said. Noted. The next 2 weeks fell into the same pattern. She went to the gym every evening. She defended it with boundaries. Then, whenever I laid down a rule of my own, she followed up with sweetness and favors like it was a trade. And every time she did that, I adjusted one more part of my life that mattered to me, not to her. I started locking my office door. I stopped texting her during her gym block. I quit waiting for her to decide when dinner would happen. If I was hungry, I ate. If she was not ready, I ate alone. It was not punishment. It was structure. She tried to get the room back by turning me into a joke again. We had a small get-together with neighbors one evening. Ashley laughed about how I used to be helpless with laundry and how she had trained me. People smiled out of politeness. I looked straight at her. Stop making me your project in public, I said. Then I added, plain as day. I am not a story you tell so you can look clever. She reached over and put a hand on my wrist like she was calming a child. Relax, hero, she said. It is humor. It is status, I replied. And I will not be your prop. After that, The jokes dried up. But her gym time went up. Not long after, work handed me travel. I do commercial installation jobs, and we got a data center project in Missouri. I told Ashley at the kitchen island. 2 weeks, maybe less. I fly out Thursday. If everything goes smooth, I am back the following week. 2 weeks, she repeated, and her eyes flicked left and right like she was doing math. Then she smiled too fast. Wow, that is big for you. Are you excited? Not really, I said. I like our bed. She laughed, then caught herself, then smiled even bigger. You will do great, she said. The house is fine with me. I did not say the house was not fine, I answered. I mean, I have it, she added quickly, almost eager. You will not need to worry. I can get ahead on the closets. Maybe paint the guest room if I feel brave. Do not, I said. Leave the paint alone. Bossy, she teased, but her energy was a notch brighter than the news deserved. That night, she came home buzzing from the gym and sat next to me on the couch folding laundry like we were the most normal couple on earth. Want me to pack your socks? She asked. I can find my socks, I said. She tucked a pair into my suitcase anyway. Let me do something. I watched her for a second, then said it. You could let me come to the gym with you. She rolled her eyes. On the surface it looked friendly, but underneath it felt bored. Still on that, she said. I am not on it, I told her. I remember it. I am leaving Thursday. Let me have this. She leaned in and kissed my cheek, holding it a little longer than usual. I let it happen. When she pulled back, her eyes looked watery, like she had practiced it. She smiled at me like a nurse checking a patient. Warm, but not personal. Wednesday night, the night before my flight, I set my own rules again. I split our main house account into 2 sub-accounts. One for mortgage and utilities. One for her spending money. I printed my travel itinerary and put a copy on the refrigerator, plain and boring. Then I took the spare key that lived on the grill side table, slipped it into my pocket, and did not put it back. I walked next door and checked in with my neighbor, Madison. She is a nurse with a sharp mouth, and she has joked for years that our cul-de-sac gives her more material than the hospital does. She tilted her head. You want me to keep an eye on the house? Then she added, I am great with plants and nosy old ladies. Water the rosemary, I told her. Ignore the old ladies. If anything looks off, text me. She smiled. So normal. I left it at that. At the airport, Ashley called me. Send me a selfie. I sent a picture with a straight face, my luggage behind me. She replied with a heart and a bicep emoji like a teenager. I laughed to myself, standing there alone. By noon the next day, we were already on site installing equipment racks. The only part of traveling I have ever liked is the work itself. Work is honest. Wires do not pretend. Cables either fit or they do not. There is no drama in a server rack. Friday morning, right around 9 o'clock, my phone buzzed in my pocket. It was Madison, my neighbor. She wrote, This is not my business. Maybe I should keep quiet. But a big, built guy went into your house yesterday. He has not left. I stared at the screen. It did not knock the air out of me. It did not make me angry. It just made everything inside me go still. I typed a reply. Deleted it. Typed again. Thank you for telling me, I wrote. Could be a contractor. Then I added another line. If it is safe, could you grab a couple pictures through the glass? She answered almost immediately. James Bond energy. I am on it. I slid the phone back into my pocket and kept working. 30 minutes later, 3 photos came through. My living room. My couch. Ashley curled up against a man I recognized. I had seen him once before at her gym, the one time I brought her water and waited outside. He looked comfortable, like he belonged there, like he paid the bills. Her hand rested across his chest. His shoes sat by my coffee table. A plate with crumbs sat on the armrest like it had always lived there. I stood in the server room and breathed. Not rage. Math. Madison messaged again. Almost got caught. That would have been ugly. Not the moment. But you owe me dinner. I typed without thinking. I will kiss you when I get back. You saved me. She sent back a laughing face and a fork and knife emoji. I turned the phone face down. The cables in front of me were calm, patient, waiting to be handled correctly. I made one call. I called Thomas, a lawyer I trusted. He had helped me years back with a contractor dispute and did not waste words. I need paperwork, I said. Clean. Fast. Everything done right. Send me what I need, he said. Photos. Full names. House details. I will, I said. I can sign in person when I am back. About a week and a half. That works, he said. Keep your head down. Do your job. So I did. I worked like nothing had happened, because nothing had happened that changed the work. At night, the phone kept buzzing. Madison sent short updates, like weather reports. They are grilling in your backyard. Then another. He is wearing your apron. I am not joking. She sent a picture taken from her upstairs window. 2 figures at my grill. Smoke curling up. A beer bottle resting on the rail. A shirt I had left hanging on the hook by the door. I felt something close to amusement at the nerve of it. I texted her back. You are a menace. Stay low. She replied. Professional menace. I could hear her laughing just reading it. The next morning she messaged again. They went for a run together. He smacked your rosemary bush because a bee annoyed him. She added. I hissed at him through the glass. Kidding. Mostly. I thanked her and promised a ridiculous steakhouse dinner when I got back. She said she wanted only a good story and a night where her feet did not hurt. The days stayed simple. Work, food, sleep. Thomas kept me updated. The documents would be ready when I landed. He needed my signature to finish what could be finished quietly. Tuesday night, Madison again. He carried a bag through your front door. Did not even look around. Bold. I wrote back. You are doing more than you signed up for. She answered. I prefer my neighbors informed. Call it maintenance. Thursday night, I sat alone in my hotel room. The air conditioner clicked on and off like a metronome. Ashley called. Her voice was bright, cheerful, light. Hey, traveler, she said. How is Missouri? Cables everywhere, I said. You good? I asked. So good, she chirped. I have been sleeping on your side of the bed to pretend you are here. That is silly, right? Adorable, I said. My voice was flat enough that she should have heard the drop. Do not be grumpy, she said. I made a roast. I am freezing you a portion. Thoughtful, I said. I have an early call. Get some rest. I miss you, she added softer now. Good night, I said. I hung up and stared at the ceiling. That was illusion number 2. Extra sweetness. It did not change my next step. I opened the airline application and confirmed my Saturday morning flight. I texted Thomas my arrival time. I messaged Madison. Landing Saturday. Backyard heroes better be gone. She replied. Copy that. I will have popcorn ready just in case. Saturday morning, I landed, shook Thomas's hand in his small office, and signed the papers. He explained timelines, procedures, and next steps. I did not need the lecture. I needed paper. It is straightforward, he said. Your accounts are clean. The property is titled in a way that helps you. Good, I said. I am going home. On the drive back, I felt more awake than I had in months. There is peace in choosing. I turned onto our street mid-afternoon. Madison sat on her porch with a coffee mug. When she saw my truck, she stood and lifted the mug like a toast. I nodded once and pulled into my own driveway. Ashley opened the door before I reached it. She wore jeans and a soft sweater. Bare feet. Hair curled like a Sunday afternoon. You are early, she sang, arms opening wide. Surprise me. Where is he? I asked. She froze. No hello, she said. Who? The guy from your gym? I said. He can head out the back if he wants privacy. Her face did not move. You sound crazy, she said. I held up my phone. Do I? She tilted her head, therapist calm. What are you talking about? You have been gone. Are you okay? I walked past her and into my living room. The couch cushions were puffed up too much, like someone had been fluffing them for show. The throw blankets were folded tight and straight, almost military. There was a faint ring on the coffee table where a glass had been left too long. I did not turn around and leave. I set my travel bag down by the door and placed the folder on the table. This is me, I said. Right now. Ashley stepped closer, her voice soft, almost gentle. You are tired, she said. The road messes with your head. You are lonely and looking for drama. Stop. I slid the top photo out of the folder and placed it between us. Her curled into him, her hand resting on his chest. Her face clear, relaxed, peaceful. She stared at the picture. Then she looked up at me. Then she laughed. A small sound. Sharp. So Madison really told you, she said. I was wondering who would play spy. She did, I said. She earned dinner. Ashley shook her head, not embarrassed. Not guilty. Unbelievable, she said. How bored do you have to be? That is a bold question, I said. What do you think happens now? She lifted her chin. Confident. We stopped being dramatic, she said. You stopped trying to control my gym time. You came back. I am here. We move on. Move on, I repeated. That is your plan. She smiled like she already won. What are you going to do? Leave? You are not leaving me. Do not be ridiculous. I opened the folder and slid the papers out, laying them neatly on the table. Laugh first if you need to, I said. When you are done, collect your things. You are not staying. Her smile froze. Then it cracked. You talked to someone, she said. I did, I answered. Started while you were checking the smoke alarm on my grill. That is not fair, she shot back. Correct, I said. Fair is gone. There is only respect. She stared at the paperwork like it was a trick. You cannot expect me to just leave. I do not expect anything from you, I said. I am telling you what happens next. You have 2 hours. Call a ride. She crossed her arms. You will regret this. I regret ignoring the small signs, I said. 2 hours. She changed tactics. I made meals, she said. I kept the house running. I took care of you. You used the house like a hotel, I said. Yes, you cooked. I can cook. I do not bring men upstairs afterward. You do not know what you think you know. Then sue me for slander on the sidewalk, I said. 2 hours. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. We have history. I have standards, I said. Her eyes flicked toward the hallway, measuring distance. You would really throw me out? No throwing, I said. You walk out with your things. I grabbed her gym bag and placed it on the chair like a diagram. That is a start. She laughed once, loud and hard, slipping back into an old mask. You are not that guy. I am now, I said. We stared at each other for a long second. Then she spun and marched toward the bedroom. Drawers opened. Closed. Hanger scraped. I stepped outside onto the porch. Madison stood by her low fence, arms crossed. Do I need popcorn or pepper spray? She asked. Neither, I said. Just a timer. How long? 1 hour and 54 minutes. She grinned like she had been waiting all week. Copy, she said. Want me to borrow a dolly from Mike for boxes? Feeling helpful. Let her carry things, I said. Good for the arms. Ashley came out dragging a suitcase and holding a bag. She looked past me at Madison like we were plotting together. You happy? She snapped. Madison took a slow sip of coffee. I am very into neighborhood cleanliness. Ashley turned back to me. I was bored, she said suddenly. Not apologetic. Proud. You work too much. You are predictable. I needed something exciting. And you needed me to fund it, I said. She scoffed. You picked safety over passion. You picked convenience over courage, I said. Now pick a ride. She rolled the suitcase down the steps. Halfway to the curb, she turned back. Do not get too attached to this house, she said. You will see me again. If you are delivering a package, I said, leave it on the porch. Otherwise, keep walking. She left. No tears. No apology. Just a raised chin and a phone pressed to her ear. I stood there as the street settled back into itself. Madison let out a long breath. Clean, she said. A little brutal, but clean. Not brutal, I said. Precise. You okay? She asked. I am precise, I said. That is the head I need right now. I went back inside, grabbed a garment bag, and changed in the bedroom. Suit. White shirt. Shoes that clicked on the floor. I looked like a man heading to a promotion dinner. Which, in a way, I was. Promotion out of nonsense. 10 minutes later, I knocked on Madison's door. She opened it with her hair in a messy bun, leggings, oversized sweatshirt. Her eyes widened. Oh, she said, looking me up and down. Did I miss a gala? You are not dressed, I said. We have dinner. Or did you forget? Her mouth opened. Then she smiled. You are serious, Madison said. Do you want me to book a table? Or should I surprise you? You have been nosy all week, I said. You pick, she answered, stepping aside. Give me 15 minutes. I waited in her small living room. It smelled like clean laundry and cinnamon. Comfortable. Lived in. Honest. She came back wearing a simple dark dress, flats, small earrings. No effort to hide behind anything. Just confidence that did not ask permission. Well, she said. Do I get a compliment or a shrug? You look like trouble I can explain to my mother, I said. She smiled. Then let us go. We drove to a place with white tablecloths, but no piano. The kind of restaurant you choose when you mean what you are doing, but you are not trying to impress ghosts. The hostess glanced at my suit and waved us in without asking about a reservation. We sat. Water arrived. Madison leaned forward. Before we start, are you sure you want to be out tonight? No recovery time needed, I said. I decompress by moving forward. She nodded. I respect that. We ordered food that did not require thinking. Forks, plates, normal portions. The conversation found its rhythm fast. So, she said, when did you know? The week before I left for Missouri, I said. Not the first sign. Just the first time I stopped lying to myself. I did not want to be the neighbor who wrecks a marriage, she said. That part is a cliché, I said. You did not wreck anything. You turned on a light. Whatever moved in the dark was already there. She tapped her glass with a fingernail. You are not angry. Oh, I am angry, I said. I just know anger makes me sloppy. I prefer results. That, she said, was a result. We ate. We talked about work. Family. The shows we pretend we do not watch. Once, my phone lit up with a number I did not recognize. I flipped it face down without pausing my sentence. Madison noticed. Good, she said. At the end of the meal, she leaned back. I thought dinner would be enough, I said. But that was before the suit. So dinner is not enough now? I asked. It is enough, she said, smiling slowly. It just is not the end. You want a second date in writing? I asked. I want you to say out loud that this is not rebound theater, she said. I like you, but I will not be a plank you step on to reach shore. You are the shore, I said. The plank was paperwork. She laughed and shook her head. That was cheesy, but acceptable. I drove her home. On her porch, she looked at me. You said dinner was a start, she said. This is only the start, right? Of course, I said. It is only the start. We did not rush inside. We did not pretend to be teenagers. We said goodnight like adults. I walked back to my house, took the trash to the curb even though it was not full, and slept alone with the windows cracked. The night air was clean. It did not lie. The following week, I finished what I started. I changed the codes on the smart locks. I set the cameras to alert both my phone and Madison's in case I missed something while working on a ladder. I told Thomas to file whatever needed filing and send whatever needed sending. I called Ashley's mother. She was a blunt woman who liked me fine until liking me required effort. I wanted you to hear it from me, I said. We are done. It is final on my end. She can pick up a few boxes Thursday at noon if she schedules it with me. Otherwise, they will go into storage under her name. Her sigh was long and unhappy. I knew she was playing with fire, she said. I did not think she would bring a torch. I am not standing nearby, I said. I will tell her, she said. Ashley sent 2 messages after that. Both dramatic. Both slippery. We are overreacting. We can fix this. That house is not just yours. I replied once. Thursday at noon or storage. Choose. She did not respond. Thursday at 12:10, Madison and I stood in my driveway when a rideshare stopped at the curb. Ashley stepped out wearing sunglasses. Her lips were tight. She grabbed 2 boxes Madison had helped label and loaded them into the trunk. No talking. No scene. She glanced once at Madison like she had swallowed something sour. You will regret trying to look like a hero, she said to me. I am not trying, I said. I am succeeding. She got into the car. The door shut. It pulled away. I checked the time. 12:15. Clean. I kept working. I kept living. The empty spots in my life filled in without force. I showed up early at the shop and stayed late for the jobs nobody wanted. Crawl spaces. Attics. Fixing messes the last guy left behind. I slept. I ran without telling anyone about it. I cooked my own dinners in a kitchen that finally looked like mine again. Madison and I built a rhythm without ceremony. Evenings on our porches. Lunch during her hospital breaks if I was nearby. Sunday grocery runs that made strangers think we were domestic. She was funny without trying to be liked. She pushed back when I deserved it and stayed quiet when I did not. I liked both. Word traveled through the neighborhood the usual way. Dogs on leashes. Trash cans at the curb. I did not explain myself. I did not take sides. I just kept going. And for the first time in a long time, that felt like enough. After that, I lived with my door closed. People understand a closed door better than they pretend to. You do not have to explain it. You just have to keep it shut. About a month later, Ashley tried one last move. She showed up early on a Saturday morning with a bakery box and a face I had seen 100 times online. That soft smile meant to signal growth, forgiveness, and a second chance. The performance version. I opened the door just enough to see her. Madison was visible behind me in the kitchen, pouring coffee like she belonged there. Because she did. Ashley lifted the box. I brought cinnamon rolls. Remember that place you liked? I do not eat sugar in the morning, I said. You used to, she said, the smile nailed in place. Used to is not now, I said. She leaned to peek past me. Oh, cute. Do you need something? I asked. I came to talk like adults, she said. You were rash. We can still fix this. No, I said. You did not even let me. No, I said again. This is not a vote. It is a finished project. She stared at me, then set the bakery box on the porch railing like she was leaving an offering. "You will regret this when you calm down," she said. "I already calmed down," I said. "That is what this is." Her mouth tightened. Then she took a breath, shifting into what I knew was her final attempt. "I will see you around," she said. "You cannot avoid me forever." "You will see me," I agreed. "At the hardware store. At stop signs. Wherever people exist. You just will not be in my house, my accounts, or my plans. That is the only difference that matters." She waited for a reaction. None came. She walked to her car and drove away. That time, it was for good. I picked up the bakery box and handed it to Madison. "These any good?" I asked. She smiled. "I will take them to the nurse's station. Sugar is their religion." Early fall, Thomas sent the final paperwork in a thick envelope. Clean. Tight. Finished. No claim on the house. No shared accounts. No loose ends beyond what she had already taken. It was not a victory. It was math. The news traveled the way it always does. Her sister unfollowed me without comment. A cousin sent a short apology that told me exactly how much they now knew. A few friends from old barbecues messaged me quiet words of respect. Some admitted they had suspected things and said nothing. I replied the same way every time. "You were not married to me. It was not your job." Then I put my phone down and went to work. When the leaves started turning, I took Madison to a small cabin upstate. We ate burgers by a lake. We read separate books on the same couch. We took back roads home because the highway felt like a line we did not need to stand in. On the drive back, she glanced over at me. "You ever going to put a label on us?" she asked. Half joking, half not. "I thought we did the night you made me throw out the chipped plates," I said. "That was practical," she said. "So is this," I said. "You are my partner. And if I propose, it will be after the new porch is finished. I am not dropping to one knee on splinters." "You are ridiculous," she said. But she smiled the rest of the drive. 2 months later, standing on that new porch with smooth boards and a railing I measured twice, I asked her. She said yes like it was obvious. We kept it small. Real vows. No champagne tower. The neighborhood kids threw birdseed and stole half the cupcakes. It felt how a home should feel. Not perfect. Solid. As for Ashley, she moved around for a while. A sublet. Then her parents placed 2 counties over. Eventually she stayed there when the rent stopped making sense. Someone told me she was working nights at a restaurant, not out front. That fit. That job eats patience and gives back dishwater. The people who once clinked glasses with her in our backyard stopped visiting her pages. The algorithm does not like slow falls. I did not watch. I did not need updates. She wanted comfort without cost. She lost both. That was the only math I cared about. If you ask me what I learned, I will keep it short. A man can love candles on the table and a warm meal waiting and still refuse to be made small. You are not required to give up your dignity to keep a house comfortable. You set rules. You enforce them. You do it quietly. And you only do it once. Months later, Ashley sent one final message. No greeting. Just 2 words. "Miss you." I typed 3 words and did not send them. I deleted those and sent 2 different ones instead. Wrong number. I set my phone face down and tightened a bolt on the porch chair that had started to wobble. Madison stepped outside in a sweatshirt and handed me a socket wrench. "You and your tools," she said. "They keep roofs on," I said. She leaned against the railing. "Dinner at my place. I am making pasta." "Better than roasted chicken?" I asked. "Depends on who is eating it," she said. "Lucky him," I said. She rolled her eyes and went inside. I finished the chair, washed my hands, and followed her. Not because I was hungry, because my life was mine again, and I planned to keep it that way.